But hey, everybody, how you doing? This is TK. This is Key's Guide to Freedom. Today, we're going to be talking about the unspoken war of ownership, and this is part of my rich versus wealthy segment. Reason why I'm sitting here talking with you today because one of my followers asked me a question about being rich and being wealthy, and we were talking about entertainers and how a lot of times they're still very much slaves. You see, there's a lot of distractions in the world, and things that we focus on, if we're really not changing, moving the needle as far as where we want our life to go, is kind of worthless, right? And this is a continuation from previous episode, and I'm gonna get back into it. But I just wanted to let you guys know if you just tuned into this and you missed the first one, what we was talking about. What I was really talking about was there's two cycles that we are on, right? You are either on a cycle of building generational wealth, or you are in the cycle of continuing generational poverty. Most of us don't look at it like that. So what I was explaining to a young man, he was 24, he has a daughter, and I was telling him, like, there's people in this world that is making plans for how your daughter is going to serve their child when it comes to age, if you don't have a plan for your daughter. And I can see he it was getting some things turning in his mind, and I went on to explain to him that when we're looking at the world and all of the distractions, that is for a certain level of people, right? When you're tripping off of race, when you're tripping off of gender, and tripping off of politics, whatever it is, right? It's not necessarily meeting the needle. These are just distractions. It doesn't matter, too much who's running office if you don't have a plan for yourself. Because they have somebody that they have their interest in or have the same interests as them, and they paid for that person to be in the position that they're in so they can do what they need to do for them. And if you don't have any paid positions, then it doesn't affect you. Well, it affects you, but it's not going to help you, so, you know, it's just one of those things. So I don't want to get too long-winded about that, but I definitely want to talk about uh, building wealth and ownership. A lot of times we get stuck on money, and having a lot of money is cool. Everybody, I'm rich, they run around. You see a lot of entertainers, you know, $50,000 change, $100,000 change, like $1 million in jewelry, and that's all good. But what happens is a lot of times they're not telling you that as soon as those checks stop coming, that jewelry is rented, or they end up selling it or having to hawk it because they build a lifestyle to fit the type of income they have going on, but they never really built wealth. And what's the difference? Well, wealth is about ownership of assets, things that's bringing you in money. Right, we're stuck on a debt cycle, so we usually buy things that take money out of our pockets. Right, so even if you happen to get rich in this lifetime, unless you build in wealth, unless you have land or some things that's going to outlast you, you're still in the poverty cycle. Your child is going to suffer. You might have a leg up, but definitely by 2-3 generations, you're going to be back in the same situation unless you guys start acquiring assets. That's pretty much the gist of it. But I was talking about mostly reprogramming your mind, because that's the most important thing. See, the wealth starts in how we think about money, how we approach education, how do we better ourselves. So these are some of the things that you have to take and invest it. You have to invest your time in, because if you don't, you're going to be still in that circle. A lot of and I love it, and I love it at the same time. A lot of us would be like, hey, I'm a businessman, I'm a businesswoman, I'm a boss chick, I'm a boss. You know what I mean? We don't have no employees, so we're not really a boss of nobody. We just got a smooth hustle going, right? It's, bringing us more money than we get if we volunteer our time for a traditional job, which is good. It's a start, but it's what you do with your money. And this is not a hack on uh, employment, or whatever you do for your money is what you do, right? I'm gonna say this: it doesn't really matter what you do for your money. If it's enough money where you can take it and you can invest and you can change your situation, then if it works for you, then do it. But you have to make your money work for you. You cannot just take your money and consume things all the time, because those things gonna cost you more money, more energy. And if you have to trade your time for that exchange of value, then you're gonna be stuck on another hamster wheel, constantly working for your things and not really for your freedom. In my previous video, we were talking about how freedom isn't an age, retirement isn't an age, it's a number. It's a number of assets that you have to have that brings in money that you don't have to trade your time for, right? And these are principles of wealth building, right? If you haven't followed my content, I talk a lot about cryptocurrency. I talk a lot about blockchain technology, and I invest in metaverse projects and things of that nature. The reason why is because I see it's a new financial system that's coming in that's going to replace how we exchange value in the marketplace, for the next, maybe 150 years. But I know that missing these opportunities is how you miss out on some of the best times to build wealth in the era. So for me, I seen .com boom and I missed it. Now we have Web 3.0 and I want to make sure I capitalize on it. But for my younger audience, when you're looking at these things and it looks like a good way to make money, but it's going to change everything. I remember before the cell phone, before iPhones, you can call, you can text. That was it, right? Pictures, videos, apps wasn't really a big thing. And then what happened was when iPhone came out, it created a whole economy. There's a whole economy that thrives around smartphones now, right? You can record videos, you can do content. Like there's so much stuff going on. Blockchain technology, AI technology, cryptocurrency, tokenization of real world assets. All of these things are happening right now. The legwork is being done. There's a crypto summit that's going on right now that I was just listening to, where they're talking about where all of the most wealthiest people in the world are talking about how this is going to shake up the industry, how this is going to change the landscape of financing in DeFi, right? Decentralized financing. It is literally happening while everybody else is asleep, and I'm screaming at everybody like, "Hey, pay attention!" But realistically, most of us don't. And the reason I'm like, well, why do we do that? Well, because we're stuck in a cycle of generational poverty. So what do we need to do? Right, we have to reprogram how we think. Instead of scrolling on, Instagram or whatever, or TikTok or YouTube, start looking at things that's going to enhance your mind, right? Pick a subject, pick a topic, something that you invest in, because it's not, you don't have to be engulfed in it, but you have to take an interest in your own future. You cannot just be somebody who's just stuck on being entertained. So whatever interests you, if you like housing, look into real estate. Real estate, it costs you a little bit more money, and there's some things that you might need, but if you can do it, then do it. Why? Because people gonna always need a place to stay. That's just fact. There's only so much land in the world, so buy some land. You can grow fruits. You can build a family compound. You can do whatever you want, but own land. Right. That's always been one of the key components of building wealth is ownership of land. Right. Then it's assets, digital assets. These cryptocurrencies are not just simply magic internet money. These are attached to technology that is rebuilding the whole financial infrastructure. So buying these is equivalent to buying a stock, right? It's equivalent to it. It's not exactly the same, but it's equivalent to it. It's like I'm investing in the tokenomics of of Ripple, the company, through their native token XRP, and this company is going to revolutionize how cross-border payments is done, peer-to-peer transfers, for dirt cheap and it's lightning fast. Hell yeah, I want to be part of that, because it's going to change the way institutions are able to do business, because they can wire money instantly instead of 3 to 5 or 10 to 14 business days, right? So I understand the importance of that. Okay, cool, right? Or VeChain, VET. where it's going to be tokenizing real estate, vehicles, all of the things that we don't realize that was going to go into the blockchain is doing, right? It already has the infrastructure. It already has uh, uh, commodities on it. If you're not paying attention, you don't know these things. And guess what? It's only pennies on the dollar. I think it's like 13, 14 cents. Though, I just just grab it. A couple of dollars here, a couple of dollars there. And the cool thing about it is because it's so early, you can do that. You can take $10 a day. That's coffee money, right? There's a guy who he's a millionaire right now, and he spent the last couple of years spending $7 a day buying Bitcoin. Right, he was buying it when it was 30, 40,000. $7 just every day instead of spending it on Starbucks coffee. He just spent it on buying Bitcoin. Right, Bitcoin shot up to I think it was 708,000. He's a millionaire now. Just $7 a day. This is how impactful your life can be just by investing in these things. And guess what? It's not going to stop growing. It's going to go. It's going to go up. It's projected to do $250,000 this cycle. Like it's still not over. We're just now getting into regulation. Like there's so much stuff going on. Institutions are coming in by the droves. ETF are getting approved and popping up. Like we're in the middle of a boom, and it doesn't take a lot of money. Now, I'm gonna do a next video. It's gonna be on breaking down layers of cryptocurrency, so people can understand. For me, I haven't seen anything quite like this. Like I remember when the real estate boom was going in the early 2000s. Right, they was giving away homes. Right, you can go in there and you can say, I make, $50,000 mowing lines on the weekend, as a side hustle, right? Ridiculous stuff, right? And they just give you a house, sign in line, they give you a house, give you a crazy rate for a short period of time. And people was, flipping, they was fixing, they was making a lot of money. They was renting them out. It was a cash cow. And then it went bust, right? Even when it was at a height, I still haven't seen anything quite like this, right? The reason why is because all I can say is Amazon is one of the biggest companies in the world. 20, 30 years ago, no one knew or heard about Amazon, right? They used to sell books online. That was their thing. I was going to be an online bookseller. They was going to compete with Barnes& and Noble. Today, Barnes& and Noble is hard to find. Imagine if you put money in Amazon 30 years ago when they was just selling books, how that compounded over here, hitting $1 trillion company evaluation in 2020. Like that's what's going on right now in crypto. Being able to invest in these companies for penny. There is literally people who are making hundreds of thousands off literally a couple of $100, $100, $1,000, $20. You know what I mean? By investing in projects early. And then when they get going in mainstream, the market cap quadruples and they make a bunch of money, right? And this is just the beginning. These things are not just, like I said, it's not just magic internet money, but I've never seen anything like this. And it's crazy that people rather bet on sports than to understand this technology. And it's not even complicated. If you understand anything about what's going on in the real financial world, it's just a better version of it, a more inclusive version of it, right? Where it's not just in the hands of a few, but it's available to the masses. But if your mind ain't right, you're not going to even take advantage of it. That's a sad truth. So you have to develop a warrior mindset because there's really a war to wipe out middle class. With all of the new technologies that's coming, it's going to be a difficult situation if you're not diversified in at least in your talent, and if not in your money. If you're not invested in something that's going to carry the future, you're going to be hurt. You know what I mean? It's going to be your fault this time. You see, the internet, it gives you what you're looking for. So if you're looking at your feed and it's a bunch of BS on it, that's because that's what you was interested in, right? Start changing that algorithm. Start looking up stuff. Hey, crypto 101. Pick up keys, demystifying cryptocurrency, right? Learn something about the technology that's changing the world around you right in front of your face. Big banks and Wall Street, they're just now getting in, and guess what? We're at the beginning of regulatory clarity, but we don't even have it, right? The banks are still not even in, right? We got Wall Street, yeah, but large financial institutions, they need that regulatory clarity. And as soon as they get it, as soon as that pass, it's off to the races. And it's going to be the biggest missed opportunity in a lifetime. That's my rant for today. Okay, I was gonna get in here and talk a little bit more, but I just wanted to come in here and just talk to you guys because it's really scary how crazy it is right now and how many people are just not moving or just moving all wrong. Short term, short term. I got a job, got me a place. I got transportation. I'm good. Nah, that's the bare necessity. You need to raise your standards because, like I said, we are on one cycle or another. We either building wealth or we're continuing a cycle of poverty because you can't pass your job on. And if your business only has you in it and your children don't have the skills to run it the way you do it, you can't pass that on. You see the difference between the extreme rich is they passed on wealth. So when a kid comes, he got a leg up. And because he been watching his parents build wealth, he has a mindset to do the same, right? Even if he rebels a little bit, he understands how to look at an investment. He understands that my money is not just for spending, right? That's the difference between a wealthy parent and a rich parent. Rich parent, it's always about what I can get. The new Jordans, latest cars, all the stuff that's going to cost you in the long run. But wealthy, they're not flashy at all, right? You don't see them with decked out anything. They just are. They driving a Ford Tacoma because it's nice. It got good, good resale value. Nicer truck, get them where they need to go. But they own, 200-300 acres. I'm just saying. Think about that. Anyway, I'm gonna get off of this. This is my rant for the day. Y'all think about it, man. Listen, get on that cycle of wealth. Find you some assets. Buy you some crypto. It's about to go crazy, and I'm here for it all. But don't miss this. I'm TK.